Hey everyone, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. And I am back with a brand new video. Today I'm talking about manifestation tips for your reality in general. I will be covering your specific person, and I have a client success story to share about how she went from fights, upheaval, breakup, makeup, nearly moving out to back together better than ever, talking about getting married, talking about having a baby, living together, seeing a future together, and she recreated the whole thing. So let's talk about how she did that and then what her biggest triggers were and how we talked about the law of assumption, the law of belief, laws of the mind in order to recreate her and her SP. Okay. Before I get started, the links for booking one-on-one coaching, one-on-one hypnosis, all the information about my courses and recorded audios are in the box below. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. So if this speaks to you and this speaks to a lot of people I talk to, and I also want to normalize for everyone how common it is and how I see with so many people that there is a symptom and a habit and a behavior of miscommunication, fighting, right? Until you rework things and you really understand that you can change and harmonize your relationship, though, if you, with your specific person or with specific people in the past, have labeled it that you are only in toxic relationships, if you compare yourself to other people, if you have negative self-talk about the partners that you choose, like your picker is off, or that you tend to pick narcissists, or you tend to pick depressives, or if you pick alcoholics, addicts, or something like that. If you have a mechanism within yourself that tries to create a story about yourself, like you're the only one and something is wrong with you, I want to tell you right now, there isn't. Okay. Almost all people I speak to about their past relationships, if they've been married before, there is usually a symptom of some kind of disharmony. I don't want to call it dysfunction. I want to say disharmony, because disharmony and a lack of connectivity, it could even be a lack of fidelity, is something that a lot of people have seen in their childhood, or it's passed down genetically in the DNA. I am just saying, this is not a video about how our beliefs are created and past lives, parallel lives, future lives. But if you've had difficulty in relationships, that's most of the people I talk to, you are not alone. And I want to say that this client who is reworking and recreating harmony, connectivity, emotional availability, and closeness with her person, she had so much of this. And it's taken her about 5 or 6 months to really get a hold of her thinking. She and I have had so many sessions where we have just focused on her harmonizing herself, focusing on herself, focusing on self-concept, on what really she wants to change within her about her, and then what she wants to change within her about him. So this is not an overnight success story. And I had a client this week that I spoke to that I said that she told me that in a previous video, I happened to mention that it took the client like 7 months and that it really helped her on her journey. And I want to say that, yes, manifestation is instant. Thoughts are instant. But most people, almost all people I talk to, have a very difficult time persisting and staying consistent with new thoughts, the new version of themselves, especially when something happens in the 3D reality or they're triggered by their specific person doing something that's like of the past. That's why you want to see this as a journey and evolution of self. If you're thinking that there is a list of secret affirmations that if I think them, if I robotically affirm them, if I just think this and then it will happen and stay, that's a lie. Okay. The mental diet, focusing on new thoughts, becoming the version of you, changing them, changing you, is an evolutionary process. And you guys, the cool thing about this is that it's never done. So if you're looking at your conscious manifesting journey as I'm going to affirm and think a bunch of things, they're going to change, then I'm done, that's also a lie, because you still have to persist. I guess this video is a disclaimer of other people's videos. I am not trying to do that intentionally, but I hear this a lot in session, like, oh, like, so how long will this take? So like, how long do I have to do this for? And if you're thinking that, you're really missing the boat. Okay. Your reality is a projection of you, your inner movie, who you are in your movie. The movie never ends until you progress or you evolve to the next movie. And is the next movie even a movie? We don't even know, right? In the human experience, the human body, you are creating a projection of your mind. That's what we know here, right? If you believe in other realms, I wonder if it's the same. Who knows? Okay. But that's what's happening here, and it never ends, right? So look at this. And I had this client, I had to speak to her just like this. I had to yell at her so sternly. We had a bunch of emergency sessions when she was like, there was so much stuff that happened, you guys. There was so much drama. It was like a Netflix film. Okay. But like she got a hold of it. So if you're thinking that all I pick are dysfunctional people, I'm always picking the depressive guy. I always pick the guy that's not emotionally available. They have so many issues. I just can't get over this. Yes, you can, but it's up to you. It's the focus of you, your thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you accepting? What are you holding as true in your mind based upon what's happening out there? For most of us, all we've ever done is have things happen in the 3D reality, and then they take up real estate in thoughts about ourselves and about people. If you're learning to consciously create and manifest your reality, it's a skill that takes practice and fine tuning. You're not going to get it overnight, most likely. Okay, you can. But for most people, especially if you're an evolved person that's had multiple relationships, and you have multiple perspectives and thoughts and beliefs and assumptions in your mind that we're changing, it's a process. And like, that's the beauty of this. It's a process and evolution of self, but we're learning the tools to really self-actualize, change ourselves, and therefore change reality to finally once and for all experience the fulfilling, love-giving, life-giving, exciting, thrilling, passionate relationship full of orgasmic ecstasy. Not to get too sex, okay? But like everyday orgasmic experiences with your person that don't even deal with sex, right? And so many things don't deal with that. They are the true experience that we are having with the person. Okay, so this is great news, but let's get out of this has to happen quickly. How long will this take? 7 months, 6 months, it seems like forever. And if you really think that, let's change that, right? Because she didn't think that. At the end of the day, she didn't think it took a long time. She was in the experience. She was in the change, right? She has never once said, this is taken forever. How long will it take? You know me, if you work with me and you say that, I don't have an answer ever for how long it will take. And the question will usually bother me. Okay. You're welcome to ask it. And I will say the same thing, which is get out of time. Time is a human construct. It has no hold or opinion on what's happening. And if you think it has to happen in a certain amount of time, the only way you can manifest on a time crunch is if you don't give a heck about time, right? You have to really, really, really be diligent about this is what's happening. This is who I am. This is who they are. If the mind begins to think about time, oh, this is taking so long, or oh, everyone else is instant manifestation, or blah, 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 you're missing the boat. Someone that manifests on a time crunch, they don't care about time. It is just happening now. Okay. This video is not intended to go off on a tangent about time either, but you get what I'm saying, right? So focusing on the now moment is also where your thoughts exist. Your consciousness and your subconscious are the same thing. They are influenced by the thoughts you're thinking and the projection, therefore, that it creates, that is the movie of the mind that you are currently experiencing and living and breathing, okay? I want to say too, this client, like a lot of people I talked to, had a lot of people that were anti-SP. Her mom, her sister, cousin, friends. I hear it a lot. Alexis, what do I do if I've told everybody the negative story about him? How do I move forwards? What do I say? What do I tell them? How do I get everybody on board? Now, I have a good hack for that. You, first of all, want to get yourself on board. I know it sounds shocking, but you are the basis of all. How you think about you and you hold you to be within you projects on how you think them to be too. Okay. So you want to fully accept and fully embrace and fully love on all the things that have happened. If this speaks to you and you've had like a fair amount of drama, ups and downs, arguments, big explosive stuff happen with the person, this is also what I mean. Accepting it, loving it, and breathing through it, saying, this is my journey. This is my evolution in my relationship. This is all great. I might not have liked and loved it while it was happening, but now I deeply accept it. And guess what? Everyone accepts it too, because I choose that they accept it. Another thing is you want to start thinking about what are my beliefs and assumptions that people have to like me, like what I like, and they also have to accept things so that therefore I feel like I'm on the right track. It comes down to caring what other people think or allowing the thoughts of other people to cloud your own perception, your own choice and decision. The more that you can stick to it, focus on, I'm making the right decisions for me. I'm doing this no matter what anyone says, anyone thinks, then they will stop talking about it, right? Because your reverberation into your reality of, I'm doing the right thing. This is the right thing for me. I know what I'm doing. I love this person. They love me. We're different now. Everybody will overhear those thoughts. The more that you're thinking, oh, what do they think? Do I have to explain it? Do I have to defend myself? Do I have to prove to them that he has changed? Guess what's going to happen in your reality? They're going to say, oh, has he changed? He's no different. You deserve better. I hear that one a lot, that people say. You deserve better because you're thinking you deserve better. So I'm thinking I deserve better. Therefore, people say you deserve better. Okay. Your reality is created by you, your perception, and your thoughts and your mental diet, because your universe hears your thoughts. As just some basic information I haven't said in a recent video is your thoughts go from your mind to your subconscious mind and into your reality. So your focus, your perception, your takeaway from situations is what matters. This is applicable to if you've had a fight in front of a bunch of people and a bunch of people saw, what do you think all those people are thinking now? We want to be thinking, oh, it's okay. No big deal. They like each other. They love each other. They're moving forwards. We accept it. We love everybody. Are you guys okay? Moving forwards. Now, most of us don't think things like that. Most of us overthink, over speculate, over analyze, and perpetuate a lot of overthinking that is really friggin' unnecessary. If you associate yourself as an overthinker, overanalyzer, overcapitulator, let's try to really think now that we're thinking simply, thinking pleasantly, thinking slowly, because that's the most effective. Okay. It's like rushing things. Trying to do things in a hurry isn't really effective to get things done, is it? We all know that. Rushing, making it happen, forgetting things. Where are we going? What are we doing? It's not an effective way to get things done. You want to see that overthinking, overanalyzing, a bunch of thoughts in your mind that go from this to that, to that, to that, to that. Get out of that. Think of what you want instead, because the power of the mind is what creates. You want to be effective. You want to be concise, and you want to be specific in order to experience and create, bring into your awareness what you want. Okay. Now let me get to the client success story. Everyone's been loving that I'm doing more success stories. So here we have another one. All right. Dear Alexis, thank you so much for all of your help over the past 8 months. She put 8 months in total there. I can honestly say that without you, I would have given up on my relationship and my specific person a long time ago. I knew when I found you and I saw you in your videos that you were the one for me. As you know, my relationship when we began coaching was full of fights, drama, and trauma about my specific person and about his daughter and about his family and about our relationship as a whole. Now I realize that all of it came from me, that I was creating the dynamic and perpetuating the dynamic of drama, trauma, pain, and suffering with him, because it really was all that I knew and all that my fallback plan was of my mind. Once I began to experience more loving moments with him, more wonderful moments, and experiencing more of what I really wanted, I really began to realize that it was possible for me. I could honestly say that without your help, I would have never seen and never had the awakening of really coming into contact in my 3D reality with what I'm wanting and what I'm truly desiring. It was all kind of like it happened to other people. I would compare myself to other success stories of yours that I would watch on YouTube, and I just never thought that it would really happen to me. But you told me it would happen to me as long as I focused, as long as I persisted, and as long as I held within me the new version of me, the new version of him, and the dynamic of my choosing. This did take a lot of work. It did take a lot of focus and a lot of persistence and a lot of affirming and changing the affirmations here and there. She puts here and there in capitals. As you told me, I do not want to change my affirmations all of the time because the mind needs to massage into it the new thinking. I can't thank you enough. And I can't wait to keep on updating you about my story. Fast forward to now, I can honestly tell you that everything has changed. All of his habits are changing in front of me. Everything that once bothered me is now changing, is now reconforming, and now becoming exactly what I want it to be. I will say too, and I want everyone to know that sometimes there's a fallback or a coming up of the previous reality. There's a typo. but I just keep on persisting, and I try not to react so much to my 3D reality when it's giving me the old news. Instead, I focus on what I want. And I have also learned that I can pleasantly communicate with him, where before I was thinking I do not have to react. Now I realize that I can communicate. I can have a reaction, but it comes from my place of expressing my feelings, expressing my emotions. And I know that it brings us closer. He even told me last night that he feels such a juicy magnetism towards me in paragraphs. That's one of my affirmations. And he just couldn't stop staring at me. It felt so wonderful. Thank you so much for all of your help and allowing me to finally believe that I can create the life and the relationship of my dreams. XOXOXO, big hug, big kiss. See you soon. Okay. So yes, it's possible, you guys. How did she go from, as she puts it, they had tons of fights, blowout fights in front of people. They had screaming matches at their apartment. She left. She threatened to move to a different apartment, to a different state. She did it all. Okay. So if this is you and this speaks to your pattern in relationships, hey, you come to the right place, right? And you also want to know that, I mean, you want to normalize these things for yourself. In your 3D reality, when there's two people that are coming together and they're in their adulthood, they're making things work. It's really you, right? But in your reality, you're with your person, trying to make it work, figuring it out. All the tools, or a lot of the tools that we have been given for relationship change communication, end up not being effective over time. Okay. So in any event, you can do this. If this is you and you have the pattern of all these things, it just takes focusing on the opposite. Some ideas that we talked about were harmony, love, connectivity, healthy communication, having healthy boundaries, and also engaging in healthy habits together. He had some extracurricular like endeavors, hobbies that she really wasn't a fan of. They didn't have anything to do with a third party or SEX, but they had to do with substances. And she didn't like any of them. And I said, okay, well, let's change those and focus easily and effortlessly on, if he wasn't doing those, who would he be? If he wasn't like that in your reality, how would you be? What would you be receiving? You would be receiving healthy love of someone. It's funny, she puts in her success story, looking at you in your eyes, being present with you, giving you all the love that you desire easily, and it's coming from them, right? So the other thing that we really had to work on, that I work on with everyone, is the who are you being and who do you think you are in the scenario? What doesn't work is a bunch of affirmations to change a person and then la-di-da, boom, we're in it. It's not that easy. It's more about, who am I? Who would I be being if I was in the reality of my choosing? And then for each person I work with, the limiters are different. That's why YouTube videos of mine are meant to be motivation. They're not to be a substitute for coaching. I want to be clear on that. And I'm very transparent about that. I never self-actualized as a person without mentorship, coaching myself. It was never like I watched a bunch of YouTube videos or did an online course and then totally changed. It took periods and times of intense change that involved trusting someone that can look at my scenario and give me guidance. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So in any event, she had limiters and blocks and limitations within her mind that were about herself and about her life at large. And that's what your mind is comprised of, is your limiters, your assumptions, your ideas from before are here now, and they're playing themselves out in your thoughts, and we're changing it, making it anew, becoming better. Okay. The other thing I want to point out that is kind of a overarching theme with a lot of people I talk to is the pain and suffering assumption. Like, relationships are difficult, life is so hard. And if you assume that, I get it, but you want to start assuming that things are getting easier, that you're finding solutions, and that everything is working out in your favor, such as thinking, everything is working out in my favor. Everything is working out in our favor. Somehow, some way, this makes us closer. Somehow, some way, life is getting easier for me. I deserve to live a life of love, happiness, harmony, and peace. I am living a life of love, harmony, happiness, and peace, right? But remember that your assumptions play out in your relationship. So if you have the underlying idea of pain and suffering, and it's so hard, so difficult, have to change it, so much to do, we want to change that also, you see? So there are so many components to our minds, but it really is simple. And it comes down to understanding, sitting with yourself, working this through and understanding what are my beliefs and assumptions about my person? What are my beliefs and assumptions about myself and life at large, right? We want to get out of the lack mechanism. I don't have it. Something is so wrong. There's going to be a disaster. It's going to happen again. It's so scary. Life is fearful, into the having of the desire, living and breathing in the beauty of it now, finding stability, security, safety now, not looking for I'm stable, I'm secure, and I'm safe when they act a certain way, and then I'll be that. When they're doing things that I like, then I'll be happy. When they're finally not narcissistic, then I will not be codependent and I will be living on my own, having happiness. No, you got to be who you would be now if they were different, as you recreate and imagine and think and believe and decide they are different too. Okay. So this is not a video about narcissism. It's just something that I thought of. Okay. So you guys, you can do this and really normalize, difficulties in your relationship. Most people go through it at some point, somehow, some way, whether you're married, single, dating your person, there usually are periods or a period of difficulty, tribulation, things, challenges. Okay. So not to say that we're normalizing dysfunction, but don't allow yourself to think that you're the only one, you're so different, and you're never going to be a success at this, because that's not true. Okay. I love you guys so much. And I hope this video has been helpful and had a great way to start the week off. Focusing, persisting, being consistent, changing ourselves, changing reality. Okay. Let's see you guys next week and have an awesome day. Bye.